major hospitals are really short.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Oh,
bless you, Mark.
Thank you so much, Mark. Seriously. All right. Hey, here we are. We're going to go forward. Okay. All right. Hello, faces. John, do you want to start us off?
Sure. Guess we'll call this meeting to order at 6:44 p.m. From what we've established earlier, we do have quorum. There's 4 of us out of 6, so that's great. And are there any adjustments to this agenda that anybody might have?
I would love to just formally welcome Gina and Katie to the commission and maybe have them say hello officially. And that would be my added agenda item.
Great.
Hello. Happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah. I think that's all. John, do you want to call the roll real quick? So we're calling roll for the first time with our 2 newest members.
All right. So I don't remember doing this before. So Casey's not here. Winnie's not here. Gina, are you here? Katie, are you here?
Present.
Rachel, are you here?
I'm here. Hello.
All right. So, all right, I'm going to hand it over to Shanda regarding the murals application for Main Street.
Great. I know you all received a copy of our application, and we're just really excited because this is our first official mural proposal that we have received, which we hope it's the first of many. And I wanted to look at it with all of you. The hope is if we do recommend this mural to go forward, we would formally make that recommendation to City Council, and City Council on August 3rd will approve it. So that's a little bit of a change from the mural proposal process that we had put together. But this is a little change that happened during work session last week, and I think it's fabulous. There's a way forward, and we will talk that through a little bit. Before we look at the application itself, I did want to just point out some of the very small tweaks that happen with our murals plan. So if you want to look at that with me, the main thing is we've been working closely with our city attorney and making sure that any proposal that comes through is something that can be part of the public art collection, and it's something that, should anyone want to put something up that does not meet community standards, it's something that we would be able to have a measure of control, or the city council can have a measure of control over it. So there have been a few language tweaks that you might notice from the murals plan of last year. The main one is just changing the wording a little bit from application to proposal and applicant to proposer. And that was important to our city legal department, just as it relates to a private person. Instead of applying to the government to do a thing, it would be more a private person making a proposal to the city government, and then we can choose whether to accept that proposal or not. So it's a wording change, but it does have substance behind it. Then on page page 3, what will be added to this page is in the mural proposal process, again, instead of the mural application process, the city council did want to add, instead of Cultural Arts Commission reviews the proposal and then determines whether or not to move forward with installation of the proposed mural, instead it will be you, the Cultural Arts Commission, will review it, and you will decide whether to make a recommendation or not. So we either recommend this proposal to City Council and officially throw the cultural arts weight behind it, or if we get a proposal and you as a body say we don't think this is ready, or we have some issues with it, then the Cultural Arts Commission would take that back to the artist, back to the proposer, and say, hey, here's why we're not recommending it. And you would get a chance to we would have a dialogue with that person or with that artist or with that group and see if they could come back and resubmit. But when we get a proposal that all of you say, yes, this meets all our criteria, then we put an official recommendation to City Council. And that is a slightly different step, but that will go right in this proposal process. Any questions about that from anyone?
I think just in regards to looking at the application itself, I had a couple questions. Also, did that issue, and it wasn't quite clear, I remember hearing about there was some type of signage issue that was a concern. Did that get cleared up?
Yes. So last Tuesday was a work session finally addressing sign code issues, and we had a slight issue where the sign code needs to be amended to accommodate public art. And most cities have a statement somewhere in there that says public art is exempted from the sign code or something simple like that. Our sign code, according to city staff and planning, our sign code mentioned the word murals, but then didn't have a definition, didn't talk about it anymore. So it was kind of this weird grayish mottled area. So there was a really great work session on Tuesday. City staff worked really hard. Your city council members worked very hard, and murals was the first thing on that list last Tuesday. And the process going forward is the murals application we received. We're going to look at it tonight officially as a group and make an official recommendation. Then in the September city council meeting, they're amending the sign code to hit the murals issue and hit about 4 other sign code issues that have nothing to do with murals. But that's the earliest that they can do. So they had a very long work session on Tuesday regarding sign code. Ours is pretty cut and dry. We just need public art exempted from the sign code. And they were very happy to talk that through and hear what we had to say. And I was very happy with Tuesday's meeting. So it was pretty smooth. It's pretty boilerplate as far as what other cities are doing. And we just hadn't gotten that step in thanks to COVID and delays, and the sign code issue was kicked down the road a little bit due to all the things of the last year. But I left that meeting really positive, and I think the enthusiasm of everyone in the room for this particular next step and potentially more murals and more public art in the future was very exciting. So I want to publicly say that we're excited. Does that answer that question, John? I think I just talked for a long time. Okay.
Yes.
And for and for Rachel and Katie and Gina, who are newer to this process, very exciting, just because we've been working on public art obviously for a long time, and it is new to Sherwood. So sometimes things that are new just take a little bit of time. But if we recommend this mural tonight, it goes to the August 3rd City Council meeting as a resolution, and then future murals will be exempted from the sign code after September, as they are in most other cities, and we can go on from there and have a lovely public art program. So that is the biggest change on page 3. But it was clear in the city council meeting, though, that there is a lot of trust with the cultural arts that we will do our job and do our due diligence, and we will make sure that before we recommend something to them that we have done all of our research and done the best we can to mitigate issues. So that's exciting. I did want to point out page 4 of our mural code, our murals plan. This sentence was added, and this sentence is particularly exciting to me. It says under funding, says the city is committed to public funding for the arts, including this murals program. So that is, I did not write that, but that is in our murals plan. That's really exciting. I know that there is a lot of energy right now around creating a fund for public art, looking at what other cities are doing. There's a lot of granting happening right now with revitalizing city cores and things like that, and placemaking that we will now be eligible for once this goes through. The other thing that's happening on August 3rd, which I wanted to let you all know, is I am writing 2 staff reports and resolutions that will officially ask the city council to adopt the public art plan and officially adopt the murals plan. So that was brought up in the discussion last Tuesday, that those are steps that they would like to see happen. So that is happening on Tuesday as well. So big day on August 3rd. If all goes according to our ideal plan, we will have a mural that we've recommended to them, plus we will have the murals plan adopted and approved, plus we will have the public art plan adopted and approved. Any questions about that? I feel the excitement. I feel it. Any questions? Okay. All right. Let's do our good work. So we have before us an application for a mural, and this is put together by Main Street in cahoots with Symposium. So we have our small business and our small business association working together. They have filled out an application. They have engaged a professional artist, Angelina Marino Heidel. I did go down the rabbit hole of her work, and she's a pretty well-established muralist with works up in Alaska and Beaverton and ones at the Shute Library in Hillsborough. Some of her work is even in Massachusetts and North Carolina. She has a very good reputation in town, and one of the things that she's known for is being able to work with the community and kind of hear their vision and propose something. So Symposium and Main Street, the reps from both of those places sat down with Angelina Marino Heidel and came up with a rendering after telling her what they, what was important to them to have in this first mural. And she came up with a proposal. So do you all see the proposal in your don't look at mine, but you should have it on your computer. So you'll notice the proposal is the entire side of the northwest wall of Symposium. So where there's currently a drive-through that was set up for COVID time, that entire area will be covered in this mural. And it portrays a couple different things. And I did want to just read into public record some of the things that are portrayed in it. The windows there, by the way, are part of those are the actual windows on the side of the building. So it's very site specific. It's designed specifically for this wall. They went with a transportation theme. You'll see the railroad figures in there. There's some classic cars representing cruising. There's some numbers in there. 1885 is when J.C. Smock told the railroad, yes, you can put your railroad through the middle of my land, making Sherwood kind of a transportation hub. Then 99, those numbers are in there to signify 99W, when that became a major thoroughfare. And then there are some animals, which I kind of love bringing in some of the rural parts of Sherwood. And the artist said those were meaningful to her because her grandparents raised chickens and goats and pigs during the Depression. And it turns out the one of the major things that they transported on the railroad back in the day were barnyard animals. So there's a lot of fun Sherwood ties in there. There's some whimsy. There's some vibrant colors. And I think if anyone has any questions about it, that would be the time to ask. Then we're going to turn to the mural's criteria and look at it through that lens. Any questions about the artwork itself?
Is the 99 like Highway 99 or?
Yeah, and let me read exactly. So it says, dun, 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 let's see. In the mural design, I'll read their words instead of me trying. In the mural design, the tracks tie the site and concept of the mural together in a lyrical way and also provides a sense of growth and a sort of visual timeline. The train itself being established in the 1800s, automobile styles that cross decades, dates, and numbers all add to this. The completion of Interstate 5 replaced the need for US 99. And in 1971, the highway was decommissioned and renumbered as Oregon Route 99. The mural tells a bit about Sherwood history with the inclusion of references to transportation. So yeah, the 99 is Oregon Route 99.
Are we missing pages 1 through 4? I see that first one on there says page 5. It's like handwritten at the top.
I think I sent the whole. Are you looking at the application, John?
Yeah, the application. There's some, basically.
Yeah, so that's just the application part. The first few pages are just our murals plan. So the application is on pages 6 through 9 or 5 through 9 of
Gotcha.
the murals plan. If that
Oh,
makes
okay, I see it here. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Any questions about the art itself or about the artist? Okay, well, we will move on. So just a reminder with the mural criteria, which is on page 2 of the murals plan, we're not, we're not evaluating whether we like it or not, or whether we enjoy this color or not, and we're not regulating content, but we are looking at this criteria and looking at this piece of art through the lens. So number one, accessibility is very important as public art, as we know. So is it viewable by the public? And I'm going to say it is. It is. It's in a very prominent location right now as you pull into Old Town. You can view it from the sidewalk. I know there is talk of building a building in that empty lot across from it, but there will still be an alley there, which is a walkable, drivable, passable alley. So I'm, unless anyone objects, I'm going to give it a pass on accessibility.
Yeah, that lot's been sitting empty for a long time, and it's unknown when it actually will be utilized, kind of like the space out front of the art center. So,
well, and even if there was a building, I think there may be a building being built, but it's still accessible to the public. It won't be covered. The next criteria is artist quality. So the strength of the artist's concept and demonstrated craftsmanship. Does anyone have a thought on that? So I would say this is I think they did a great job of picking a well-established artist who is skilled in public art, and her work is pretty well known. I have no qualms or worries about her quality. Does anyone have a thought about the artist's concept?
I like the fact that she, well, it sounds like she sat down and figured out what I guess the building folks were interested in, and it does speak to a lot of history that at least I've learned about Sherwood.
Yeah, so specific to Sherwood. I like that.
I do too.
Great. So context, architectural, geographical, sociocultural, and historical. I think it's, the context is you're driving into Old Town. You're literally driving towards Railroad Avenue.
Railroad Street, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It feels contextual to me. And anyone interrupt, I'm just going to tick down here. Feasibility, so budget, timeline, experience level of those involved. He did write, Greg Jaycott was writing a little bit about this in the application. The budget is pretty solid. They did receive a CEP grant back in March 2020 for this, and they have received an extension on that grant. So they've worked really hard on the budget. They have also received a donation from Symposium, who is also hosting it on their wall. And they've also received some small donations from Main Street businesses, which I think they've been very smart with their budget. the timeline is one reason why, of course, we're trying to move this along is, it's a mural in Oregon with with a very professional, in-demand artist. So we do have her for a short amount of time, both weather-wise and just commission-wise.
Will
So
she
their
be
timeline is solid.
will she
What?
be able to start by the time the signage situation is taken care of, or does she
Yes,
need to wait?
So she'll be able to start if we make this recommendation and council approves on August 3rd, she could start August 4th.
Oh, good.
I know, I'm excited. And the hope, they have expressed hope that it would be up by
Cruising.
cruise-in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So that's really working hard on their end. But I think that speaks to her her desire to work with the community. So that'd be a really exciting tie-in for cruising.
Definitely.
Yeah, looking at some of her work, it's very vibrant and very detailed.
Yeah. All right. Permanence will last a minimum of 5 years, resistance to vandalism and weather. So that's the 5 years minimum is just kind of standard for public art. It can be expanded, as we know, but the idea is it needs to look really good and be made of solid material, and be weather resistant for 5 years.
Yeah, that was something. Yeah, that was something I didn't see in the application, was the anti-graffiti and UV coatings.
Yeah.
I saw mention about it, about rating systems, but it also didn't list what its rating system was, 1, 2, or 3. So
Okay. We can clarify that. I know that there is that to sign confirmation of maintenance responsibility, and the city of Sherwood requires an anti-graffiti coating as well as a protective UV coating. And one thing we would have now, with it being public art, is we would have an easement. The city would have an easement to, if something did happen to the mural, you could access it from Symposium and help with it. But they are required to use current mural standard, highest quality anti-graffiti and UV coating. Did I answer that, or did I just talk a lot?
So we can ask them specifically about it, right?
Yeah, we can. Okay.
Is it
Scale.
Symposium's job?
Oh.
Sorry, is it Symposium's job or the city's job to, I mean, let's say there is a graffiti issue, who takes care of it?
Yeah. So that is, we will have an easement, an art easement agreement that says if we need to, we could go in, but the city, the property owner is saying they will take care of it.
Oh, okay.
So, so on page 9, the confirmation of maintenance responsibility says, I agree to maintain the mural as required for 5 years. Yeah. Yeah. And the good thing, if for some reason there was an issue with the mural, it is a local, she's based locally. So we could either contract with the artist to come and fix it, or work with her that way. I have to say the technology, the mural paint technology, has come a long way, even in the last 10 years. But that's a very good question, Katie. Any other question about maintenance? Okay, I'm going to move on to scale. Appropriateness of scale to surrounding neighborhoods. Any comments on that as regards to this mural?
I don't really know what that means, but it looks good.
My interpretation of that is this is it going to look outsized or like, to me it looks very good how it's very site specific on the side of that building, where if it was not to scale, maybe it would be a little mural in the corner of that long building, or something that covered a square right in the middle of the building. That's how I read it. I think the scale for this is very,
It's appropriate.
yeah, it's thoughtful. It's using the side. Whereas if it was a square right in the middle, it would look weird. Or if it was a giant face on that size of a building, it would also look strange. Technical proficiency, technical skills, and artistic experience of the artist. I think this is a very experienced artist. I don't think they could do better, honestly. Like, her reputation is really solid. She's worked with cities before. She's not new to this process. Anyone else with thoughts of that or comments? Everyone's talking at once. No. All right. I'm going to move on to suitability, and suitability is one that was added maybe less than a year ago. You know, we've been looking at this murals plan for a while, but suitability is a little less tangible, but it's just us saying, does this make sense in our community or not? Does it reflect our community values of inclusivity and livability and safety and family oriented, and does it demonstrate community support? So I'm going to say it does demonstrate community support just from the financial donations that Main Street has been able to garner from small businesses around it. Anyone have something to add about its suitability or reflection of community values?
Well, Symposium in itself has been kind of like a gathering place. As far as I know, most meetings I've had with people is, hey, let's meet at Symposium. So, and
True.
just to touch a little bit back on the sense of the interfacing with the public, that I'm looking at street views, and it's definitely not the largest building in town, so it's not like super overwhelming. And I see a sign that says coming fall of 2019 in the sense of that office building that's supposed to go in that open lot. So there you go.
Any other thoughts on the on suitability or community support?
I mean, obviously, the other businesses are interested if they're donating to it. Have they seen the plan for it, or they're just interested in public art in general?
Yeah, so they have the mural rendering was shared at the last Sherwood Main Street meeting.
Oh, good.
And I know I haven't been to Main Street lately, but I know 1 year ago and 2 years ago, they're very interested, especially in Old Town, in how public art is going to work. So I think they're looking at this first mural and our first engagement with a professional artist coming in. They're really looking to see how the process works and if it's feasible and viable for maybe another business to jump in. So yeah, they have seen the rendering, and I have not heard any negative response, and I don't believe Main Street has heard any negative response either. I think it's more excitement.
Good.
Saying, let's get going with this. Yeah, any other thoughts there? Those are good questions.
Artwork is very whimsy and
Gina, can you say it again? I can hardly hear you.
sorry. The piece is very and oriented. Eight cars, the animal, very family friendly. So and posing very family friendly. All the kids.
Mm-hmm. You said it's very family friendly with the animals and the
Cars. It's like
yeah.
Technical in the Sherwood community.
Yeah. I like too that it shows the history without feeling like a museum piece. Like it's got a little bit of, we always talk about public art being a moment of delight for people. Like as you come into Sherwood, I think people will kind of go, oh, that's fun. And it also makes you go, why is there an 1895? Why is there? And we will have, as public art piece, we'll have a little explanatory plaque that will go there that will have a little bit of explanation. And hopefully, too, I mean, other cities like Tualatin have a little QR code right there where you can just click in and go, oh, here's the information about the artist. Why is there a chicken? Here's why there's a chicken. So I think it has the possibility of being, being a moment of discovery and delight, which is, what public art is. It doesn't have to be everyone's favorite painting. It just needs to create those moments. I guess the next step, John, as you are presiding for us today, would be to, I think we would vote on whether to recommend this. And then if we do recommend the mural, I'll send that on to City Council.
All right. So I'm putting out there looking for someone to make a proposal that we send this on to the City Council to approval for approval. Do you have anyone to make a motion?
I will make a motion to send it for approval.
Do we have a second? Perfect. Do we have a second? Perfect.
Hold on. I need to have exact words for public record. So we need to make a motion to recommend this mural to the City Council.
Yes. So Rachel, do you want to?
Okay. So I'd like to make a motion to recommend this mural to the City Council.
Fabulous.
I shall second that motion.
Perfect.
Thanks, Katie.
Sorry, Kelsey. My Robert's Rules of Order is a bit shady.
Totally okay. This is a brand new thing, so.
True. Do you want to call for?
Yeah. Call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Say nay. Hearing none, sounds like the four of us have approved to have it move forward. Yay.
Yay! I'm very excited, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this. And I guess citizen comment is next. I did not receive any citizen comment this week. Just want to put that out there as I'm looking at my agenda. I will go ahead and write up the resolution and staff report, and I encourage all of us on August 3rd, tune in, or you can come to the City Council meeting and we can show our support in person as well if you would like. It's going to be a big night.
What time is the meeting on August 3rd?
Kelsey, I think it's 7. I feel like
Yes,
City Council is at 7. Yeah. And I will be there in person, and I am very hopeful that we will be able to reach some of our public art milestones and public art goals, and very excited for this. All right, John, do you want to?
All right. Is there any other items that anyone would like to discuss before we adjourn? Nope. All right. Then 7:23 p.m. Kelsey, we're adjourning the meeting. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you, Mark.